It's like, there's some news, there's some more news, there's some more news, there's some more news. So it's just kind of chaotic out there. All right. I used to be able to do a little like preview thumbnail before I jumped on. I kind of missed that. YouTube changes things, so I have to kind of wait for people to show up before we start talking about everything. All right. You had to come in 4 times to connect. Mary Trump recently said YouTube doesn't like her. So it's not just me. It's nice to know it's not personal. There's so much going on as usual. When you really look at what Dumpy has done to our country thus far in the first 100 days or so, the fact, yeah, I'm in company with Mary Trump. I heard her say it last week when I was driving to that rally almost a full week ago, that YouTube doesn't like her either. So anyway, this is this place that we're in after just a little more than 100 days. If you hear anybody saying, "Oh, we're just going to have to keep doing this for 4 years," shut them up, write them an email, leave them a comment, say, "Are you effing crazy?" You don't have to say it like that. But let's be real. We don't even have an FDA. We don't even have FEMA. We don't even have a National Weather Service. We don't even have an EPA. Okay, so anybody, really, I'm wondering what they're smoking. These people that are saying, or maybe they need to smoke something. These people that are saying, we have to put up with this, we have to wait till the midterms. Are they high? Or do they need to be? Can we start talking sense, please? Why? What kind of world are the people living in that are actually saying, "Oh, well, in the midterms, we'll boot them out"? Seriously. So I just really, I'm kind of, I'm on a mission to get people that are thinking that way to snap out of it. Really. Snap out of it. He's damaged every single facet of our government in massive ways. And the effects of the tariffs have not kicked in yet, although I really do think they're going to get turned around. They haven't kicked in yet. I know, I sound like Cher talking to Nicolas Cage. I know, I was thinking of that movie when the moon struck. And it was, snap out of it! What's wrong with you people? I don't mean you. I know you all get it. But let's stop thinking that we can wait till the midterms. We can't even wait another 100 days. Yeah, Governor Pritzker is calling for protests, and yeah, he kind of motivated me to make sure I went to Boston last week. And sit in all that traffic getting there. I would really love to go to DC, but I don't think it's financially feasible for me. But if anyone wants to fund my trip to DC, you guys did it before. Send me an email, netdion7@gmail.com. I won't take your money unless I'm definitely going. I'm starting out. Oh no, Cheryl, it's not Democrats need to message better. It's not that. I beg to differ. We need to be pounding on the doors of these representatives every single day. We cannot wait. I mean, I did hear Elizabeth Warren at a hearing. They were getting ready to appoint some very unqualified person. I don't even remember what. It was some kind of a military position. You might know who I'm talking about. Elizabeth Warren did a great job. They're doing a great job. They need us. So if you're talking about Democrats meaning us, 100%. Yes, just keep calling and know that you're not the only one. And keep your mind focused on the good stories and the good news. The judges are pushing back strongly. I just kind of got wind of what's going on with the shipping, the container ships not arriving at port, and it's not a pandemic, but it's the same effect. Oh, it was a defense under the is defense under secretary the name of the position? Yeah, Elizabeth Warren was really good. She was grilling him, and she didn't want to appoint him. He doesn't have her vote. Anyway, as far as the container ships that aren't arriving, the GOP lost 11 spots in Tarrant County, Texas. Yes, and there's a county in Texas. I think it was Jesse Dollamore. I saw this, if I have that right. There's a county in Texas that fired they voted out the entire school committee. That's the name of the position. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the guy that she was grilling. There's too much going on for me to write everything down. Anyway, there's a school committee in a county in Texas. They voted out the entire committee. In 5 weeks, we'll see empty shelves. Okay. So, I've written many Substack articles, especially last year, in which I said this. And if you're subscribed to my Substack, you'll remember me using this line frequently, and you may have heard it in other places. Their plan is to take a wrecking ball to the United States of America. Oh, you watched the video with Elizabeth Warren. Good. She was really excellent. They're doing their job, but they need us. Democracy is government by the people. That means we are the government. And that's because we didn't treat it that way. That's why we are where we are. So we got to make up for lost time. When the container ships don't come to port, it's not only the American people that lose out and don't get things that they need. It's all the corporations that depend heavily. I heard a number that 91% of what we use comes from China. Thanks, Cheryl, for keeping track of the thumbs up. 200 to do a group hug. Wait till it starts to affect the corporations, which is like most of them, that rely on these container ships coming to port. And all the dock workers that unload the ships are going to be kind of out of work. It's the domino effect of the wrecking ball to our entire country is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling how much damage this will cause. Amazon is taking a big hit already. Anyone in business, any small business. And I want to remind you all that Kamala Harris on the campaign trail, we're going to keep talking about Kamala Harris on the campaign trail, and I was excited about it, was going to offer like a credit for all small businesses. It was like, I forget what the amount was. It might have been $10,000. She was going to offer government help for people that wanted to stay home with the elders in their family that needed care, but didn't need so much care that they'd have to be in a nursing home. She was going to make sure that the government funded that through Medicaid. Kamala had the plan to finish the job that Joe Biden did. So these people that are in our illegitimate, illegal government right now, the mob with the fast declining mob boss, and I mean his mind, the mob with the fast declining mob boss are taking everything that was good, and because it's the remember that he was planning some kind of a retaliation tour. I haven't heard anything about that lately, but his campaign tour was the revenge tour. So the orange monster, and I'm going to call him a monster because that's how I really see him now, more than anything. He's a monster. The orange monster was seeking revenge because he hates democracy and he hates Joe Biden. He's over there suing CBS when he, quote unquote, won the election already for doing an interview with Kamala Harris during the campaign. He cannot stand for anybody to look good. It's interesting because he assumes that if somebody looks good, there's not enough room for two people to look good. There's only room for the orange monster. A little bit earlier, I had a vision, like the way that I was meditating. I had this vision of like Donald Trump as... I just saw him as like a cartoon character, like a huge monster, just going through an area where everybody was just doing fine, and he's just this huge, ugly monster going through, like Godzilla, right? Going through an area where everybody was just doing just fine and destroying everything in his path. And I went, that is exactly what it is like. Can we all imagine that? He's like a big blimp-style monster, blimp-sized monster. Just, did you ever see Godzilla? Like Jabba the Hutt? Yeah, but he's not nice. A big, giant, terrible monster. He hates everything and everyone. But he's the most beautiful, healthiest, smartest man who ever lived. There's never been anything like him before. Yes, exactly. So, I want to thank you all for being here so we can kind of go through this all together like we do 3 times a week, at least. At a minimum. Jabba wasn't... I mean, it's just no matter how bad Jabba was, Dumpy's worse. Looking forward to when he gets removed from this. That's the way we like to think around here, Gloria. He is illegitimate. He's definitely illegitimate. He admitted he's illegitimate. And then Stephen Miller's got a lawsuit going against John Roberts, so I did a mini pop-up. There was a mini, I did a mini pop-up about Stephen Miller and John Roberts, and just, if you missed it, the little synopsis is that Stephen Miller, what the Trump administration, the illegitimate criminal administration that's illegally there, what they are attempting to do is to make the Supreme Court no longer a thing. You're having a party when they're gone. What a great idea. Maria's saying there were people that didn't want to vote for a brilliant woman of color. Let me say something about that. Wait until she becomes the person that it's obvious is capable of turning this entire ship around. Because I'm going to go back to what I said right after that illegitimate election in which the Kremlin and Elon and Dumpy all admitted that they rigged. I'm going to go back to that. Right after that election, the guides gave me the download. I'm going to repeat it. We had to get the MAGAs to be stunned and shocked and scared into reality. And it wasn't happening. Yeah, we miss Thomas's dad jokes. He's in Italy. I'm sure he's having a great time. Someone from The Hague filed a case against Dumpy. Yeah, that's an ongoing thing, I think. So, in no uncertain terms, this is the universe's way. This is my take on the whole thing. This is the universe's way of getting us as a nation to not be divided anymore, because we cannot save human civilization if we are a divided nation. It's time for me to write a new song because I keep rhyming things. There was a video recently that I came up with a song title. I'll have to go back and add that line. Now, the other thing that I really can't help but notice is that when you step back and you look at this whole thing and what Dumpy thinks. Hang on a second. Electrostorm, we will not get all the MAGA, some will be left behind. Isn't that the case for anything? I'm not being a smartass. Some people leave the cult. We need a majority of them to leave the cult. It's never going to be all of them for anything, right? There are people that long after a cult falls apart, they're still doing the cult stuff. What this whole criminal administration needs for us to be like, and is literally banking on us to be like, is they're telling us that we should hate people. They're telling us, right, and it's not, yeah, I agree. When they say right or left, MAGA people, the Democrats, the Republicans, and then they use Democrat as an adjective, that drives me up the freaking wall. It's going to be, I mean, I'm not a Bible scholar, and I'm not a heavy-duty Christian, even though I have Church of Spirituality. I just want to point to how many times in the Old Testament that God didn't like that the people had turned away into sin and debauchery. And so it's what did he do? He sent a plague, he sent a flood, he sent, like fire, he sent all kinds of stuff to get people to wake up. That's what those stories are about. Compassion is key. So this whole MAGA thing can only succeed. The whole MAGA thing can only continue to stay alive and to have oxygen and to succeed if a majority of the people of the United States of America can jump on the bandwagon of hating one another with vitriolic, violent hatred thinking. And this is a test. Thank you, Warren, for putting my info up. Appreciate that. And thank you to anyone who sent a donation. When he illegitimately got into office, and even before when I was reading about Project 2025, my biggest concern was all the people that would be suffering. And I have to admit, I didn't even see how many were going to suffer till now. And it's only going to increase. I think about all the people in hospitals and nursing homes that won't get the medical supplies that they need because a lot of them, probably most of them, are made in China. the media is all over the Pope stuff? Well, because there was a movie and they think it'll attract attention. That car looks nice, but the muffler seems exhausted. We have a dad joke from a Thomas substitute. I want everyone to think about what we're going through as temporary. It will turn around when enough of us get it. I'm trying to decide which cards to use. Let's use these tonight. Or let's use these tonight. These are new and different. God's still sending bad weather. Yes, that's true. Let's call a spade a spade. The U.S. has had a Russian coup. Celtic Seer, I've been saying that for 5 years. I'm just joking. I mean, but I have been saying it for 5 years. I mean, is it just me, or is it obvious? India is important for pharmaceuticals. Please pray that war doesn't get escalated. Oh my God, that really put me over the edge last night. After seeing the orange buffoon behaving like an angry teenager when he met with Carney. Choosing 3 cards. Let's see. Do I have a specific question? I'm going to pull 2 cards because I don't really use these cards much. About this current administration. 29 and 34. Hang on a second. I'm just trying this out as an experiment. 29. Okay. So I'm just kind of asking about what's going on with this administration, and I have the card. This card is the Divine Feminine rising up. Yeah, we like that, and it's true. And resources. Okay, rising up and resources. This is speaking to, we will be becoming very resourceful. I want everybody to recognize that these tariffs are temporary because the corporations will not put up with it. Yeah, Mark Carney, I'm a fan. Did you see my shirt about Canada? We hate him too. Hey, Canada, we hate him too. I happened to get that on the same day. I think it was the same day that they had their meeting, or the day before. I mean, it's just, it's beyond my comprehension how he could sit there and go, how Dumpy could sit there and go like, we don't need you. I mean, it's like a bad relationship, right? It's like if you ever have had a bad breakup with an abusive person and they're like, you can't live without me. That's not ever happened to me, fortunately, but really, it's so dumb. So we're going to pull 3 cards about Dumpy. And you know what? There's a different perspective. There's a different perspective, too, with what's going on. That if you believe, like I do, and you've borne witness to this in your life, like we all have, that things get shaken up and they fall together in a different way. So let me offer you this perspective. It's like the United States is taking one for the team, in the sense that we are having to tolerate Dumpy. I'm just talking energy here. I'm just talking energy. We have to tolerate Dumpy in order for Canada to have woken up, because they were leaning towards a Trump sympathizing candidate in Canada and also in Australia. And because they saw Godzilla, uglier than Godzilla, stomping all over the United States. They went, oh, we might not want that for our country. Probably bad idea. And it made them run to the polls. And I'm sure huge numbers. In Australia, you get fined if you don't vote, which is, I don't think it's that way in Canada. It made them turn their ships around so that they don't have a dumpy like us. Beam me up, Canada. And so, also, we're in this time that we're strengthening our democracy. We took the shot. Yes, we took one for the team. Hey, Yogi Bear. Been a while. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the orange monster. Okay. The orange monster's status. But we won, but the universe said, nope, you're not ready. I agree with that, Electrostorm, 100%. We don't get a better deal until, in this whole divine plan here, as a country, we don't get a better deal until we prove that we can love one another and take a stand for that. Please hit the thumbs up, and when we have 200 thumbs up, we'll do a group hug. So I'm just pulling 3 cards about Dumpy. Now, those fairy cards that I just pulled, they're like the I can't say that word, Lenormand Oracle cards. I bought these kind of recently in Salem. One said the rising of the divine feminine. The other said something about us being really resourceful. I hope you have your resourcefulness skills honed. They're gonna get honed. Dumpy. I think the reason that he looks so terrible, one of the main reasons, is that Putin is sticking the knife in and twisting it. Because I'm reading on Dumpy, and this card is undeniably Putin. And the Page of Swords represents law coming. And the Hague is popping into my mind. And I want you all to know that I never for 1 second thought that all the work that Jack Smith did with all his helpers, I never for 1 second have thought that that was all for naught, because it wasn't. His hair is going fast. So I don't think the orange monster is sleeping. I think he's tossing and turning at night, all night, every night. And I think that because his mind is failing him, and because he's having so many sleepless nights in a row, which is probably why he goes to Mar-a-Lago so frequently. Yeah, we all think he's golfing. He's probably mostly sleeping during the day. I see the Page of Swords represents all the evidence that is against him. Putin is putting the pressure on and twisting the knife. And the Sun card is here. Sorry, I can't show you the full cards because there's nakedness. The Sun card is shining a light on all the shenanigans. What are you saying, Celtic Seer? Are you okay? I'm sorry that I'm reading on him. It's just that he's the main cause of all this horribleness. So we're looking to see how we're going to fare. And I just told you. He's probably being haunted. I think he's being haunted by Putin, mostly. Let's ask the pendulum. Everybody, let's take a deep breath in. And hold it, and a longer breath out. When we say, I hope so, we're not in our faith. I'm just pointing it out. I'm not criticizing. Trump won a first place ribbon on how to screw up America. So now we need to earn a blue ribbon. A blue ribbon. Yeah, we understand your frustrations, of course. It's just, I cannot avoid reading on the orange monster. I'm reading to find what we can do. Believe me, I wish I could move on with my life, but we need to help each other out here. Is Putin putting the pressure on? Yes. I think mostly he's not sleeping because of the pressure that he's under from Russia. Case in point, how often does he, given the opportunity, how often does he talk about Russia, i.e. Putin, as if we should go really gentle on them? And then saying that Zelensky started the war. Let's read on Putin. I really feel strongly that the war is going very badly. And so that's probably why he's putting more pressure on Dumpy. You got a yes too? Yeah. Yeah, buying Big Macs till he passes away. I think he's doing quite a good job at that himself. So we're reading on Putin now. Yeah, the lack of sleep is bad for his dementia. That's true. And I think it makes him extra cranky. Yes, and this, you're right, Celtic Seer. It's true. I just did a show with Kathy, and I noticed I just got the notification that it uploaded a little bit earlier, a few minutes ago. So you can watch that afterwards. Don't leave. Watch it afterwards. I need you here. We need 200 thumbs up. Putin. Working really, really hard. I always get the 9 of Cups. I usually get the King of Pentacles. But for Putin right now, he thinks that he has it in the bag. And also, and the Orange Buffoon thinks that he's 232 pounds and, right? And 6'4" or something. In other words, both of them are delusional. Both of them don't see what's really true. He's almost 300 pounds. I think he's more than that. How do you know, Rita, how many pounds he weighs? How do you know? I'm just curious. This is a serious question? Okay, let's get serious. Does he have someone sample his Big Macs, or does he trust McDonald's? I think he trusts McDonald's. Yeah, but Rita, how do you know that you're getting, just understanding that this is the Russian approach. I think he's over 300 pounds. All right, we've done this before, I believe. Is he 250 pounds? No. Is he 260? 270? 280, 290 pounds, 300 pounds. I almost said 400. 310 pounds, 320, 330, he's around 335 pounds. I don't know. I'm not good at guessing weights. 330, 340 pounds is what I get. Sorry, I had to go there. Let's read on, he's only 5 feet 10 inches. How do you know? Oh, well, that's easy to measure. Yes, I guess that would be easy to guesstimate, but I think weight would be hard. No, it's not good for his heart. Let's do this. The full moon in Scorpio is going to be a really tense time for him, and that's on the 12th. Will we bear witness to health issues with him? They're going to continue to try to hide it. Yeah, keep putting a lot of energy in for the day we're saying Madam President. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Any kind of health issues that he's having will be hidden. Will the full moon in Scorpio bring out any of his health issues in a visible way? The pendulum just is like, that's kind of a yes, because it's going clockwise rather than counterclockwise. Full of number 2. Okay, so we're going to pull 3 cards on Stephen Miller, because even though I did a little pop-up about it, I want to just look a little further into that. They're trying to eliminate all the judicial system. The only thing that makes us a democracy is that we have a judicial system. You think swimming with sharks is expensive? Swimming cost me an arm and a leg. Doing pretty good on picking up the dad jokes. Stephen Miller. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I know there are other psychic channels you can go to, and I'm so grateful that you picked mine. Stephen Miller, left out in the cold, the Hermit. There's too much information coming at him, the Knight of Wands. Stephen Miller attempting to eliminate the Supreme Court. It's not going to go very well for him, and the Knight of Wands indicates somebody has some serious dirt on Mr. Vampire Miller. A lot of dirt. I think he's going to find, as hateful and vitriolic and racist and misogynist as he is, I cannot believe that he's married. You're still talking about Dumpy. I was just reading on Stephen Miller. He'll see karma very soon, Maria thinks. Okay. Going back to the orange buffoon. At Pope Francis's funeral, was he with Melania? No. I just had to ask. You want me to read on California? What about California? Can I read about how California will be affected under this nightmare we are going through? Why do you think California is going to go through more of a nightmare than we're all going to go through? Thank you for the donation. We're all going through it. We're all going to go through the same thing. It's bad. What I will read on is how we'll do all the states. I actually think California is going to do better than most of us. Yeah, that wasn't. The pendulum said no, that wasn't. Thank you for being here. Let's pull 3 cards about how we're going to do. They deported a guy who was a veteran to El Salvador. He was in the military and the Marines from 1999 to 2000 something, and they deported him to El Salvador. Yeah, this is not sustainable. What they're doing is not sustainable. I'm going to pull 3 cards about America. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake everybody up. Gotta wake people up, people. Highly emotional time. King of Swords. I see this often. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you for your donations, everybody. How America's going to fare. The moon. Highly emotional card. We're going to be like, oh, Joe Biden. Where's Joe Biden? Where's Joe Biden? But I do see a strong, and I keep getting the Prince of Wands, which is indicating a lot of information coming from whistleblowers. A lot of information coming from whistleblowers. A lot. You heard some of the deported were whistleblowers, but where did you get that information? Yeah, California supports the red states. New York supports the red states. You know, with in terms of tax, like helping them out with tax dollars. He was deported after having ordered... What? Hang on a second. Jose Segovia Benitez, a U.S. Marine combat veteran, was deported to El Salvador after being ordered removed from the United States in October 2018. He had served in the Marine Corps. We'll read on the deportees. It's despicable. We're under attack from Russia. How our democracy is doing. I see a strong leader. This keeps coming up. A strong male leader as we're going through the worst of it. And the Prince of Wands. There are whistleblowers everywhere. Everywhere. Read on the Red Group passing a law last night allowing to sell public lands. Will they retract that back once Lotus comes back? Yes, they will. This will be turned around. We might lose some national parks. We've lost our 200 people quorum. They all left. We're not going to get them there, Cheryl, because we just dropped down from like 275 to 175. Was it something I said? Yeah, I did hear Joe Biden on BBC, yes. Oh, the audio is no longer in sync with the video? Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut it down because I'm having tech problems. And I apologize for that. I wanted to stay with you longer. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye because I'm having technical problems and we're kind of running, you know, close to the end right now. The video is off, not me. Okay? So I don't really feel like dealing with it. So we'll see you tomorrow. We have our Grassroots of Democracy, formerly known as meditation group. So check it out. And we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Namaste. Go watch the video with Kathy Beale from today. Bye. Thank you. Thumbs up.